Okay, one more time. One more time. One more. Well, let's just say one more time. And maybe I'll get it right.
Before we even get started, I am just going to fully own the fact that I am firmly riding the Hot Mess Express today. You will see repeated examples of that throughout this video. I apologize in advance. I have way too much caffeine and way too little sleep in my body. That's the excuse I'm going with. All right, here we go. Before we get into the video, as always, I want to welcome you back to my channel, or if you are new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and I totally forgot my intro. Doing stellar. Doing awesome. My name is Kara, and on my channel, we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. Really quickly, the makeup is from Nomad Cosmetics. This is their Iceland Fire and Ice palette. I used a variety of the shades in there. I did film it. I plan on doing 3 looks with this palette, and that will be coming up at some point later on this month. Shirt is from Shein. Earrings are from Aldo. I have been on a tear with earrings lately, and let me tell you, it's a good thing and a bad thing because I just spent altogether way too much time trying to figure out which earrings to wear today. And obviously I settled on the green ones because I thought it tied in with the eyes, and like I have this whole blue and green theme going on. But these guys were a really close second. How fun are they? They're sparkly too, like they're adorable. So they'll be featured at some point, but also I can't resist showing you these guys. They're like fucking peeps. Look at them. They're adorable. Although, I gotta say, this guy kind of looks like he's seen some shit. Like, I'm not judging. I mean, this is basically what my hair looks like, but like, how cute are they? Adorable. Okay, moving on from there. I promise, I am a fully grown adult. I promise. But like, how could I resist those? They're adorable. Okay. So as usual, I'm going to start with the items that I am the least interested in and move towards the ones that I am the most interested in. Let me tell you, it was difficult to come up with 12 this week. There were some things posted on Trend Mood and Beauty News Official and things like that I didn't even care enough about to talk about. Like, I don't tend to include skincare and items like that in these videos because I don't know, I just don't get excited about it. I truly don't. So we have 11 actual products and then 1 announcement, I suppose. But that's where we're going to start this video, is with this announcement, because for a multitude of reasons I really just don't give 2 figs. So coming in at the least interesting to me is the fact that Jaclyn Cosmetics is going to be available at Ulta. Now, I don't care about this because I genuinely don't care about Jaclyn Cosmetics. I truly don't. But also Ulta has decided that they're not going to ship to Canada, and the brick and mortar stores that we were supposed to get up here aren't happening. I don't know if it's just a temporary delay or an indefinite thing. I don't know what's going on, but suffice it to say, ground is not being broken anytime soon, so anything that's available at Ulta isn't available to me, so I genuinely don't care. But I thought that I would put it out there because if you are curious about Jaclyn Cosmetics and you do want to try something, now you can order it from Ulta, and at least in this way, if you do have a problem, you should actually be able to get a refund. Alright, so now that I've thrown just a little bit of shade, let's move into the actual products that have been announced. And first up, I want to talk about this one here from Voss. This is called the I Love You Cherry Much eyeshadow palette. And I'm guessing that that's meant to be a cherry theme, I guess, if we're gonna cover it in cherries and put the word cherry in huge letters across the top of it. But one would think that the theming should translate into the color story, and I'm just not picking up cherry from this. There is 1 red shade. There are some like pink and burgundy-ish adjacent kind of colors going on in here, but if you put this palette in front of me and did not let me know that it was called anything to do with cherries, that is not the word that would come to mind in looking at this. Warm neutral, I guess, with a pop of pink, but like it's not a cherry palette. Maybe it's like the cherry orchard, like 2 weeks after prime picking season, where there's just a couple really good ones left and the rest are all kind of rotting on the ground. Maybe that's what the inspiration is? feel like that might be a stretch, but like, this is not a cherry. I don't get it. I just don't get the theming. Take that aside, it just, there's a couple shades in there that look pretty to me, but for the most part, this just looks very dull and uninspired. I will say, I mean, the bottom left, second from the bottom left, that gold shade, that draws my eye. But the fact that 1 out of 18 shades draws my eye, I think that kind of shows just how uninterested in this palette I am. It just looks a little lackluster. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like there's anything super fun. There's no real bright pops of color. The metallics are sort of been there, done that kind of shades. There's just really nothing inspiring about this. My money is safe from this palette. Next up, we have a couple items from Milk Makeup. There are the Electric Glossy Lip Pumpers. So first of all, if it has, what? Pumpers? Whoops, there's a Freudian slip. The Electric Glossy Lip Plumpers. First of all, so whether it has the name Pumpers or Plumpers, not interested. I bow out immediately. As soon as I hear the word lip plumper, it just sounds painful, and I'm not interested in that. Second of all, I don't like these little squeeze tube things. I find them messy to apply. I don't like that kind of packaging. I'm just not interested in these products whatsoever. And then they also have, what are these called? The color chalks. So it says that each one of the new color chalks is handmade, meaning no two look exactly the same. You can glide them onto your eyelids, cheeks, lips, or beyond for buildable, shimmering payoff. They come in a peel-off wrapper and a portable, reusable tube. There are 14 shots. Jesus, I'm struggling today. There are 14 shades available. They are up on the Sephora website now, or also on the Milk Makeup website. I don't know what the price of them is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they're in like the 20-something range Canadian. I am just not down with this. I'm just not. I like the idea of like the minimalist packaging. I can get behind that, but I have no interest in anything with the word chalk in it. It just doesn't sound like a makeup product that I want to use. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Very delivered me iced coffee. I think I'll keep them around for a little bit longer. Great. So here's my thing with this. Like, basically anytime anything is marketed for eyelids, cheeks, and lips, I'm always like, it's going to fail in one of those categories. At least that's been my experience, is that if it's good on the cheeks and the lids, it's usually not good on the lips. Or if it's good on the lips, it's usually a hot mess on the eyelids. Like, there's usually one area that just, it doesn't perform all that well in. So right off the bat, the idea of putting anything labeled chalk on my lips, off-putting. Don't like that. And then they don't look like they would have any precision. So putting them on your eyelids, unless like, I guess you could just do it on like a one and done, but you're gonna lose the precision in there. And then like they have like greens and blues and things like that and black. And I don't know that I'm gonna be putting like black blush on, you know? Like it just, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. And I don't really know what the intensity of them is going to be like, if they're going to be just like a really sheer wash or if they're going to be buildable. I'm not interested enough to try it, to be honest, but if you have and you want to share your thoughts with me, I would love to hear them. I'm just not going to put up the money to try them. All right, next up is going to be from ColourPop. They have joined in on this Make It Black challenge? I feel like challenge isn't the right word, but neither is trend. I don't know the word. The word is escaping me. But regardless, they have joined in on this Make It Black idea. So the hashtag Pull Up for Change partnered with leading brands to transform their most iconic products black. 100% of the proceeds will support Black founders through the newly established Pull Up for Change Impact Fund. Less than 1% of available capital goes to Black businesses. They are raising $5 million to support Black businesses. So I guess in a way, the Make It Black is a fundraiser, I guess. Either way, I'm behind it. 100% behind that. I just don't want to buy these products. Okay, so I'm struggling today. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. It's, I don't know. The color palette, like the palette looks really pretty. And it's nice to see ColourPop do a palette with that much intensity in the shades. they're just shades that I already have, and I don't really have any burning need for this. That's the only reason that I don't want to purchase this, is just the colors that they are offering are not anything that really sparks any particular interest in me. But the fact that they have joined this Make It Black, I'm going to call it a movement. I don't know what else to call it, but the Make It Black movement, I think is fantastic. I hope that it's not just tokenism on their part. Like, I really hope that carrying forward and moving forward, we're going to see more inclusive releases from them, not just in their like base products, but also in their palettes as well. And I would love to see them featuring more Black creators and people of other colors as well. So I'm hoping that this is not just like a damage control thing. Time will tell. I'm not casting that aspersion at this point. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm hoping that's not what it is. There's a distinction. Wow, I really messed this one up. Okay, let's move on to the next, and that is going to be this new brand coming to Sephora. Lys, L-Y-S. Please, somebody tell me how to pronounce it properly. I don't know if it's an acronym or if it's actually Lys. I don't know. But at any rate, they're coming to Sephora, and they are a color cosmetics Black-owned beauty brand. So I love the packaging. I think it's really different. I love the triangles. I have an affinity for triangles. It's a weird thing, but very quickly, I want to get a triangle tattoo because triangle is the symbol for Delta. Delta means change. I've transformed myself in the last year and a half. I've lost like 125 pounds. My entire lifestyle has changed, and the whole triangle thing really represents that. So ergo, I'm drawn to triangles. So this packaging kind of speaks to me on that level. It has nothing to do with makeup, but just my own personal aesthetic preferences. Regardless, I fully expect, and as you can see from the swatches, that this is going to be a very inclusive line. And from what I can see, it looks like they have nailed undertones as well. That's the problem that I think a lot of brands fall into, is that they will release deeper shades, but they don't release deeper shades with different undertones. It's not helpful, because just because somebody has darker skin doesn't mean that they don't have an undertone. So I love seeing that this brand has addressed that as well, because I can see that there are more yellow undertones and more red undertones as well. And it appears to be some neutral undertones as well, just in this limited shot of the pictures that we've got here. So I'm really, really enjoying that. And the price point is really good as well. So the matte bronzer is going to be $18. The foundation is $22 with buildable light to medium coverage with a natural finish available in 35 shades. The cream blush is going to be $16. And then there's a primer for $20 as well, and a setting powder for $18. And then there's some brushes and lip products as well. It's going to be available February 19th. I haven't seen it on the Sephora Canada website yet. Sometimes they'll like preview something that hasn't yet arrived. I haven't seen it on there yet, but hopefully it arrives at the same time as the American site does. But I'm really interested in this, and like I said, that price point really piques my interest as well. That's kind of the price point that I'm sort of drawn to at this point. So I've got my eye on this. I'm very curious to try this out, and I don't know why I ranked it so low. Why the hell did I rank it so low? You know what, I'm going to keep it where it is right now, but just know that this actually takes the place of the next 1, 2, 3. So this should have been in 5th place instead of 8th. So I apologize to Lys Beauty. I suck. All right, next up, Melt. They are releasing little minis. Minis always get me. They're just so damn cute. So they're releasing mini lipsticks and little mini petite stacks. I don't understand how the stacks are going to work. I truly don't, because they just have like individual pictures, it looks like. What I don't know. What's going on here? I don't know. But it says Melt Neutral Brown Petite Stack. So I guess you get more than one. I thought they were like little individuals at first, but I need better pictures, Melt. I might be more interested if I had better pictures and more understanding of what in the fuck this is. Regardless, it's mini. Ergo, it's cute. Ergo, it's also going to have a lower price point. And that could draw me in, just in and of itself. We'll see. Let's see. What information is available? Absolutely none. It just says coming soon. Okay, well, that's all we know. There's no price point. There's really nothing else for me to go on except this picture, which, as I've made abundantly clear, I don't really understand what's going on with the eyeshadows, but with the lipsticks, they're cute and mini, so maybe I'll buy one. I don't know. I do like their lipstick formula. Based on the colors here, I really have no need for any of these shades. I truly, truly don't, but again, they're minis and adorable, and I like to surround myself with cute things. Keeping in mind, remember these? Yeah. I like cute things, so we'll see. We'll put this firmly in the we'll see category. Menagerie Cosmetics is back at it again, and they are releasing a purple palette called the Flight Club palette. It's going to be available for pre-order on February 26th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Flight Club palette contains 2 metallics, 2 chameleon metallics, and 1 chameleon satin in a new formula, as well as 7 mattes inspired by the adorable fruit plunging flying fox. I don't give a flying fox. Sorry, I'm a nerd. AKA the fruit bat. It's going to retail for $38.95 and it's estimated to ship in early March. I think it looks beautiful. I don't think it's the best packaging they've ever done. I mean, it's cute, but like, I'm not a bat fan. I know some people think they're like wildly adorable. My daughter is one of those people. She loves bats. She thinks they're so cute, and I'm like, they're just kind of like flying rats. I'm not on board. So that's just obviously personal. But the color story, yes, please. Like, all day long, yes, please. But I just bought the Violette palette from Viseart like a month or 2 ago. I don't need this one. I really want it though. Like I really want it, but I literally do not need this. This basically is the Violette palette. A little bit brighter, a little bit punchier, a little bit more fun, but I've got to try really hard not to get sucked into the colors of this because I don't need them. I have them, but they're just so damn pretty. I'm going to be very jealous of anybody who buys it. So whereas the last one, the product intrigued me, but the packaging, not quite so much. Let's flip that on its head. This mascara here from Nomad Cosmetics, I want the packaging. I have zero need for another mascara in my life. I've recently just bought 2, plus I have a drawer full of them, like I do not need anymore. But basically, if this was any other product but mascara, I would definitely be buying it because this packaging sucks me in. I think it's gorgeous. This is the Vicious mascara. It is available now through their website. I know that Nabla is also available on Beauty Bay. I have not checked to see if this mascara has made it to Beauty Bay yet or not, but if it has, I will link it in the description box below. All right, so coming in 4th place this week is this new palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This is going to be their Shanghai palette. The palette's color story and layout is fully inspired by the city of Shanghai and the yin-yang philosophy. The left side of the palette represents yin and historic Shanghai with its pagodas, ancient temples, and 19th century buildings of the Bund. The yin shades are softer, cooler, and more muted, and they all have a plush matte finish. The right side represents Yang and the futuristic side of Shanghai with its neon lights and extraordinary towers looming over the city. They're vibrant, they're more warm and bolder, and they all have a new brilliant foil finish. It has just very recently launched on February 11th, and it doesn't have a price point in here, so I'm not entirely sure, but again, I'll put that in the description box down below. This one I am definitely intrigued by. I think, first of all, the packaging is stellar. Whoever is doing their artwork, hats off. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I really like how they've divided it. I like the theming behind it. I like this yin-yang philosophy and how they've translated that and interpreted that in the palette. I really like the color selection. I mean, my eye is immediately drawn to that bright green, but then it also bounces over to the pink and the purple and even those like more neutral mattes, like on the very left-hand row. I like that they put a new spin on it. I think it looks beautiful, and I think that it lends itself to a lot of creativity. I can say from using the Nomad palette that I did today, the Iceland palette, absolutely no complaints in terms of their formula. The mattes blend out beautifully, a ton of pigment in them. The shimmer shadows are really smooth and easy to apply, so I'm really happy with their formula. I definitely have my eye on this. I don't know if I'll end up pulling the trigger on it, but I'm definitely going to be thinking long and hard about it because I really do think that it's beautiful. This next release did make it into my online cart, and I just about hit submit order, and then I took a breath, backed off, closed the window. I'll revisit it down the road. We'll see. I'm really trying hard with this budget this month. Like, I'm really trying. But these are the new blushes from Bff. These are the Sunset blushes, available in 5 different shades. Right off the bat, I love how inclusive the shade range is. I think there's literally something for everybody. There's such nice, deep, rich tones, but also like that brighter peach and the more light pink. I had the peach one and then that center pink in the middle on the bottom in my cart. I might, you never know. I just might go back and order them. If not this month, maybe next month, but I think they look beautiful. They're £23 each, available through Cult Beauty exclusively. Everything I have tried from Bff, I have loved the formula of their powders, so I fully expect that this is going to be every bit as nice as the highlighter and the eyeshadow quality, all of that. So I am very interested in it. If I didn't have this budget going on, I absolutely would have purchased these without any hesitation, but I'm really trying. I'm really trying. So if you do pick up any of these, please let me know what the quality is like and how you made on with it. I want to know if they are like super intense straight out of the pan or if they're really buildable and all of that. Like I'm very curious about them. I'm really interested in these. Okay, so now we are into the last 2, and this next one is one that I have purchased. So Bff Cosmetics has just recently collabed with Alondra and Elsie. I am not familiar. I have zero idea who they are. They look like they're about half of my age, so I have no idea. Zero idea who they are, but congratulations to them on this collab. Apparently they're best friends in real life, so this is called the Bff Collection. I just picked up the palette. As you may have been able to suss out, I am a huge Bff Cosmetics fan. So the fact that I don't know who Alondra and Elsie are doesn't mean anything to me because I highly suspect that the quality of this palette is going to be every bit as good as the other ones that I've tried from Bff. And also I really like the color story. I think it looks really pretty. It's not just a neutral with a pop of blue. There's a ton of blue shades in there. There's some like nice pinks and red tones. I think they all look like they're going to play nicely with each other. There's also like a mossy green going on in there. I think it looks like a really pretty color story. This is the kind of palette that's right up my alley. I find that I'm like pulling away from brighter colors recently. I'm not sure, it's just my makeup preferences are changing. Don't be fooled by this. On a day-to-day basis, this is the kind of palette that I'm looking for. Something that still has a little bit of fun to it, not just pure neutrals, but toned down and a little bit more approachable. That's what I'm gravitating towards lately. So this is right up my alley. I'm really excited to get my hands on it, and I will definitely be sharing my thoughts on it with you guys once I've had an opportunity to play with it. Okay, so now we have reached the pinnacle. This is the item that I am the absolute most interested in. Despite the fact that I've already bought the BH, so clearly I was interested in that, this one, like, I cannot wait until it's released so that I can get my hands on it. And that is the Ninhydrin palette from Adept Cosmetics. I have raved and raved and raved about the Plain Jane palette. I highly suspect that you're going to hear the same rave reviews from me over Ninhydrin, because there are a lot of those ACI shades in here as well. But they've also included some matte shades as well as some of their ACD formula, which I also adore. So this palette looks beautiful to me. I also just frankly love the fact that it's called Ninhydrin. Freaking love that. I did a forensics specialist throughout my undergrad, so anything forensics related, it's gonna speak to my heart. So if you don't know, Ninhydrin is often used in like the fingerprinting test. It's what turns everything like purple. I don't know if that's why they named it this, but for me, that's what sparks a little corner in my heart reserved for forensic science. I'm like, Ninhydrin. So there we have it. The swatches. Oh my God, I can't wait to get this palette. I cannot wait. These are like more deeper, earthier tones, but yet there's still some really vibrant purples and like blue tones in here. I cannot wait to play with this palette. I'm so excited for it. I love that they didn't go overboard with the mattes. There are no mattes in the Plain Jane palette, and every now and then when I do reviews, I'm like, I wish there were a few more mattes because it's not really a standalone palette, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it's put out in such a way as to be a standalone palette. So for whatever reason, it just doesn't bother me. I can bring in some neutral shades from another palette or funner colors or whatever I want to do, and then the Plain Jane palette becomes like the spotlight, like the star of the show. And that's what I expect I would use this palette for as well. But there are a couple of mattes in there that honestly look like they would work with every other shade that's in here. So I think it's a really smartly curated set of colors. I can't wait. Like, I can't overstate how excited I am about this. Frankly, I love Adept Cosmetics. Like, I love their products. Well, before I even had the Plain Jane, I do have a ton of their singles. I am really blown away with just how consistently good their shadows are. I love that they're doing palettes now. I cannot wait for this, and frankly, I can't wait for whatever's coming next from them. I am a huge fan. I will definitely 100% be buying this. All right, so let me stop raving for just a moment and give you some actual practical information. So the formula is vegan, nothing is tested on animals, and the products are made in the USA. The product packaging is made of recycled materials. The palette is going to retail for $68 US, and it will go on pre-order soon. So there's no specific date here, but there will be an announcement with the email subscribers getting first dibs for purchasing. So if you are interested in this palette as well, highly recommend going over to their website and signing up for the notification so that you can get your hands on it first. By way of heads up though, I will say to any Canadian consumers that the shipping costs from Adept right now are insane. I don't think it has anything to do with them. I think it has to do with whichever delivery company they use and their rates. I suspect that it's related to the global situation going on right now, but I did just want to give that warning before anybody like dies of sticker shock. So just be forewarned. Okay, with all of that, those are the new releases that I want to talk about today. Sorry this wasn't the most cogent thing that I've ever put together, but like I said, I'm running purely on caffeine and sugar at this point, and this is what you get when that happens. At any rate, as always, I would love to hear from you in the comments on the items that you are interested in, or anything recent that you've picked up, or items that you just have absolutely no interest in. I love hearing it all. But with all of that said, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.